Hello everybody, Reggie Time here with my friend Grant, and we're going to review a session of mine that I played on Sky, oh Christ knows, last week sometime now. I pretty much can't remember anything except this first hand on the bottom left table, so it's going to be probably not quite as new to me as it is to Grant, but not far off. I probably won't remember too much about it. Grant's just going to tell me to pause the video whenever he sees something he wants to talk about, and then we'll talk about it. So Grant's kind of going to be in control of which hands we discuss and which ones we don't. And let's go with me. Grant, this first hand is pretty interesting. So,
did you how did it go down pre-flop?
Just limped. I was in the big blind, check, and then just led out on the flop, and he called, and that's it. That's where we are with it. It's what is it? It's a 20L table. So if he limped, I don't know if someone else is in the pot and then folded. I'm not sure. It looks like it's just been limp, or maybe he's min raised or something, but. I can't honestly remember, but it's obviously it's just a small pot now. There's only 10 blinds in it, so my guess is it was limp, and then I just potted it, something like that, I would guess. So here we go. Turn I bet.
Yeah.
He is about to raise. So there you go, sir. Limp pot.
Oh, it's a huge raise.
It is a huge raise, isn't it? We haven't put very much in. What are you thinking?
Well, what's the green tag mean?
The green tag is somebody who isn't a regular, and I suspect maybe, isn't as good as some regulars might be. Maybe he's not as experienced, maybe he makes a few mistakes. Basically, what's commonly known as like a fun player these days, it's probably someone who hasn't demonstrated yet that they're regular, or maybe hasn't demonstrated.
I don't know him either. I've not seen him.
He was completely new to me. I'm guessing the tag could have been from a long time ago. I've no idea. I certainly didn't tag in this session.
It's pretty horrible. This actually, it's so big. I mean, you shove and he's only calling with either a better jack. Well, I doubt a better jack, but I think he's got bought. He's only calling you with better, I think.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to do with you. I really wasn't.
But if you call, you're in on the river.
Yeah, I think if we call, we have to just check on the river, don't we? Just keep all these bluffs in there.
But yeah, I think calling's probably better because obviously you're keeping his bluffs.
So you'd call here then?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I think that's best. I mean, if you raise, you just fold out his bluffs, and you could have a worse jack if it was limped pre. I mean, I don't know how it went down pre.
Raising wasn't really something that was in my game plan. You're probably not going to like what I did. I wouldn't have thought. I was really out of shit what to do here, because when you get raised on the turn by someone who you suspect is going to be passive, I just didn't like it, and I just folded, because I just thought, do I really want to go for like 80 odd big blinds? So yeah, I've got trips, but if he's value raising, there really isn't very much a beat, and I kind of think in those spots there's not a chance he's going to just be randomly bluffing. I was kind of concerned that he might have limped big, like limped kings or aces or queens or something, and he's now just going nuts with them. But I just thought, you know what, it's a small pot, I haven't put much money in. Yeah, I've got trips, but I've got a really bad kicker, and I didn't like it. Something smelled. I just didn't like it for whatever reason.
If it is a limped pot, then I don't think your kicker's amazing. Your kickers are nuts.
If he's got Jack 10, Jack Queen, which you can say.
Is he going to limp that though?
Quite possibly. I mean, you know Sky as well as I do. People limp. There's lots of players that just limp lots and lots of hands. I don't know. It's just, for me, it was like, I'm on the turn. It's a really small pot, and it's just massive Beluga theorem. Now I know that Beluga theorem is like if you only got one pair, you should fold or something like that. But this isn't that much better than one pair.
No.
I mean, yeah, it's a strong hand. I have trip jacks. But like I say, if he is value raising, I don't see what it'd be. Yeah, fine, he could have Jack 6, Jack 7, Jack 8, I guess. But I think it's way more likely to have Jack 10, Jack Queen, Jack King.
Even 2s and 5s if you limp.
Yeah, pocket 2s, pocket 5s.
People love limping the pairs. So.
Yeah, of course they do. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing that there might be some criticism of that 4, but for me, it's just like a really small pot.
You invested nothing, yeah.
There's someone who's like, I don't know anything about him yet. As it turns out, he turned out being a little bit aggressive. So maybe if this hand had come up 20 minutes into the session, I maybe would have played it differently. But at the time, he just had the green tag. I assumed passive, because that's why I assume everyone's passive until they show me otherwise. And if we've got like loose passives, raising me on the turn, or people who I presume to be loose passive, raising me on the turn, and I've put barely any money in the pot, I just kind of thought, you know what, it's not the best spot to go broke, so I just folded. But I'm going to guess that lots of people aren't going to really like that fold.
I don't think I could have folded.
No?
But I don't think it's terrible.
Maybe I was just behaving myself because it was recording. Who knows? Maybe I wasn't recording and I just fucking jammed it in his face. It's definitely possible. What do you think of the limp behind with the 3-4 suited?
Which tables is? Oh,
Bottom right table.
what you overlimped?
Yeah, 2 people
Yeah, I
limped
like
in,
it.
Aqua, and I want you. In the past, I've just been folding these, but I've been like toying around a little bit with open limping and over limping lately. And I'm not sure if we should go this far down.
I don't know. I think it's just as good, really.
Yeah, I suppose there's not that much difference between this and say 5-6 suited in this, but in terms of like if we get flush over flush, the 5-6 isn't going to
Yeah.
make much difference to the 3-4, I guess, is it?
You just don't want to get attached to your flushes. Your straights are strong though.
Yeah. I mean, if we make a flush, I'm going to keep betting it, obviously. But if we get raised, I think you're right. We probably have to just let it go.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the overlimp's fine here. But it's just something I've just started toying with. I've been folding these sort of things in the past, or mistakenly, which was like for a while isolating with them. And
yeah.
it's one of the worst hands you can ISO with.
I've stopped doing that as well.
Just low cards are just no good for isolation on Sky. It just doesn't work because people just call you with stuff that have you crushed, you know what I mean? And they don't fold. I mean, when you raise with hands like 3-4 suited, to me, you have to be prepared to go to war with them post flop. And when you get to multi-way pots on any site, not just Sky, but on any site, multi-way pots, you kind of have to have the winning hand to win the pot, don't you? So
yeah.
I just don't think isolation plays work that well. Not necessarily on Sky Poker, just at these stakes in general, when you're not playing speed poker. When you're playing regular tables and you're game selecting, you're trying to play with some players that are just playing for fun. I'm not sure isolating works like it used to. It worked years ago because no one knew to play back at the isolation raise, and no one understood what an isolation raise was now. But I'd say even the fun players understand that people raise them light when they limp and things. So I'm just not sure it works that well. But I'm still not convinced overlimping as weak as this is good. But we're going to play with it and see. Who knows?
Oh. Just go with it.
Just go with it. Like you say, we're not going to lose too much doing it.
No.
I mean, I think I should stab there. I don't like my check.
I don't know.
When he checks to me, I think I need to stab.
I don't think you can stab.
I don't think
Some
so.
people in a pot. No way.
You're just completely giving up at this point then.
I would be, yeah.
And you give up on even though it's checked through twice, you just give up. You still
definitely.
be just giving
because
up.
There's so many just small pairs that are not going to fall. You have to. It's such a small river bet.
Because I'm looking now and I'm thinking I should have stabbed at some point. If I was reviewing someone else's play here, I could hear myself saying, "You've limped this hand. It's been checked to you twice. You've got the button, and you can't made no attempt to try and pick the pot up."
Well, for me, I don't because I just think, well, I've not thought nothing out. I don't care. I've not put nothing into the pot. The pot's tiny. I don't need to win it. And people call down so light.
Yeah, that's my concern.
So we'll check down a pair there.
Yeah, somebody
I'll bet
might
the
just...
river, and he'll just call, and then.
I think you could be right. So if someone's in there with 5-6, they might even call 2 streets.
Yeah.
It's such a small pot. It just feels to me like I've missed a trick here. I could, if I'm going to be over limping these hands, we can't always just like hope to make hand. I think sometimes when people are showing extreme weakness like they have in this pot so far before the river, I don't know. I think maybe you could have stabbed, maybe not the flop, but definitely the turn when it checks through twice. But I didn't. I think that's an adjustment. I need to at least start toying with it and just trying to pick up the pots. So I'm not sure if we're not trying to pick up some of these pots after limping when everyone's showing weakness. I think trying to pick up the pots has to be part of the strategy. But I'm same as you. I'm just concerned I'm not going to get enough folds. But I guess if people just got air, they're going to fold. If someone's got, let's say, 8-9 on that flop, and someone else has got Jack 10, and someone else has got Ace 4, we're probably just going to get them all to fold, I would guess. But it's a big ask to ask so many people to not even flop a draw, I guess.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a concern. I'm going to get called by draws and then give up. So, but I think maybe if I'm going to continue this strategy, I need to start finding ways to win at least some of the pots.
I play them really weak as well. If I don't flop anything, I'm not interested. I've invested one big blind.
I think maybe if one of these guys hadn't limped, if only one of them had limped, it was only against 2 players, then maybe I'd be more inclined to try and pick it up. But getting through 3, it just seemed a bit of a stretch. Anyway, let's speed the video up. We're going to be here all night, aren't we? How do we do it? Play speed. If it goes too fast, let us know, buddy. I'll just shut the fucker down again. And anyway, bet the river and we obviously just fold and we're done with it. I hope I see bet this flop. I didn't see bet. Why didn't I see bet that flop? It seems strange to me on the bottom left table.
Yeah.
Such a dry board. I should see bet there.
He's short stack though as well, and I think he's one of the more passive players.
Yeah, he is. But when we've like raised King 2 suited from the button,
and
we flopped that dry, and we got like the back door. I don't know. I mean, maybe it looks like he's just got something again. And I think I just folded a pair on the river there. I'm not sure what you think of that either, to be honest.
No, that's a definite fold. He raised huge.
Go back a bit. Oh, we can't go back far enough. How do we do this? So did I bet? Sorry.
Yeah, you bet.
No, I value bet anyway. Oh yeah, I'm fine with that then. I'm fine with that.
Your
I
raise
thought
pretty big as well.
Yeah, we just obviously go with some very thin value.
4x.
His raise isn't that big relative to the pot because I made a small value bet, so maybe he's attacked my bet size there. But I've been having a lot of success with small value bets, especially on the river on Sky. I just don't find people raising me like.
No.
You get called down super light. I've been like betting 1/3 pot. I'm getting all kinds of calls.
Top left, top right.
Top right table.
That's nice.
Nice river. I think the turn call's just a call, isn't it? Why is this not fucking pausing?
I don't know.
What do you think of raising the turn? I think it was a limped pot, wasn't it? I think.
I'm not sure. I didn't see the pre.
Let's see if we can just take it back a bit. Yeah, limped pot.
Yeah, I think it probably is just a call because you do probably isolate yourself against draws. I don't know. You could get calls from flush draws, some straight draws, but I can't see many of them limping, especially not Wubble. Wubble's quite good.
Yeah, I think Wubble's probably got something at this point. I don't think he's just airballing there because he's definitely one of the more solid players. Again, maybe I've missed some value there, but I was just thinking I'm not really going to get Wubble to call with worse very often.
No.
So as kind of my thought would have been, let's just call and let the two guys who I don't know, especially Nick, who looks like he maybe, again, wouldn't be the strongest player with his stack size. My thought process would have been, let the guys come in behind, but I mean, is the board too wet to be letting people come in? And a jack peels off, a queen peels off, an ace peels off, a spade. I mean, there's a lot of cards that don't do me any favours.
If they've got a draw like that anyway, they're going to fold. If you raise, what's Nick going to do? Is he just going to shove the rest in?
It depends what he's got, I guess, doesn't it? I mean, it was a check through on the flop, so I'm not really that worried about flush draws. But I think I'd give him gut shots a free shot. Maybe give him some two pairs a chance to suck out with me too. If someone's in there, I don't know, Queen 10, Ace 10, Jack 10, that type of thing. I think I'll give him a chance to suck out with me, but at the same time, I think it's going to be really hard to get value from Wubble. And if my best chance of like winning a seat, an half decent sized pot is to like get callers behind a thing and maybe just take a chance that the board doesn't run out bad.
Yeah.
That's probably the way I was thinking. I'd rather maybe get one or two calls behind and get an extra 180 in the pot that way than try and raise Wubble to say 270, have the two weaker players fold, and then Wubble's probably going to 3-bet me or fold, I would imagine, most of the time.
Yeah.
I don't see Wubble just bet calling that turn, unless he's got something like Ace, Jack of Spades or something like that maybe that's just decided to take a stab on the turn. Maybe, but Wubble's not the guy I'm looking for. I very rarely look to go after regulars because we just don't need to. Wubble's not going to make very many mistakes. I'm guessing Nick and Possum might make mistakes, so I want to keep the guys in the pot who are more likely to make a mistake. So anyways, as you saw, I think we rivered a full house, didn't we, I think? I'm going to hope they bet it.
Cheers to you.
Pretty much just potted about those things. And
was it just you and
no? Possum was still in too.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I just didn't think a king would fold. If Possum has a king, he's not folding. If he has a 10, he's going to raise me, and happy days. But he didn't, so whatever. As you can see, I'm playing on I know you've got a better computer than me. I find it easier to play through the website. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you tried that or not yet, but
I've tried it, but mine's fine at the minute. I've not had a crash in ages.
It's a lot smoother than using the client. When I fire the client up and then fire my task manager up, the client just takes so much of my computer's resource. I just prefer to play through the window. It's definitely a lot smoother. Right, so here we are, bottom right table. We've got
fine.
Acquire.
Is that a 20 NL table? Is it? Yeah.
Yes. And I'm not sure about Acquire. I mean,
I think he's quite passive.
It's quite baffling because sometimes he seems to play like he doesn't give a toss, and sometimes he plays really well. I'm really not sure about him.
I had him marked as weak. I had him marked as a bad player, but then I seen him and he was quite good.
I'm not sure. He plays a few different stakes. I'm really not convinced my green tag's right. I guess this is why you know, it'd be not been nice because part of the thing that's good about Sky is we don't have stats. But it'd be just nice to know what his stats were because I wouldn't be able to nail him down. If you said to me, if I said to you what are my stats, you'd say, oh, maybe you're, I don't know, maybe you're 18, 14 or something. I could say the same about you. And the regulars, you can kind of put them in the ballpark. But players like that, it's just impossible because some sessions he seems to play really quite loosely. In other sessions, he seems to play really solid.
I think he's quite passive though, for the most part.
So I'm not right sure about him. I'm not even sure if he's going to be the type to just call 3-bets out of position. But at the same time, I hate just slow playing hands like Queens. But if you've ever got like really aggressive players behind, I might call just to like back race them or something. I'm just not that fond of 3-betting Queens versus under the gun. Because when we get 4-bet, we want to puke.
Yeah,
so I'm never that sure about Queens versus under the gun versus middle position cut off or whatever. I know you've got a theory. You don't even like getting Queens in pre very often, do you?
No, I won't get them in pre.
You're just not a fan of it at all.
I do sometimes now on Sky, but it depends who it's against.
Yeah, I think there's a world of difference.
I'm not into it.
I think we can get it in pre probably better on Sky. I think there's more gamblers on Sky than if you were playing like Zoom or something like that.
Oh yeah, you're just not getting him on Zoom ahead.
I don't know. I think you might in some situation. You wouldn't be in this situation, like versus under the gun.
No.
But I would have thought blind versus blind or button versus blind. You could hope to get it in ahead. I know you and I disagree on that. I don't really want to go into it now because it doesn't matter because we're on Sky. But I just wasn't sure about the 3-bet. I'm not sure about the sizing either. So if I'm going to 3-bet and like basically say, look at me, I've got a strong hand. Can we just go at that 11 or 12 blinds rather than 10? Because if he's got a hand he wants to continue with. If he's going to put £2, he's probably going to put £2.40 in. I would guess.
Yeah, I go 9 in position and 10 out of position, but you can definitely get away with more against looser players.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've seen some absurd calls with a 3-bet. Some guy the other night, I limp re-raised aces because that's what you do sometimes, and some guy just called me with Queen 3 and it spiked trips. It was it's pretty disappointing. So this bottom left hand looks like maybe could have gone for some value versus Spider-Man, but by now I'd kind of started figuring out that he might be a bit aggro.
Yeah, I think you've got to fold that river though, to be fair.
I think so?
Yeah, but he's just needs a queen, doesn't he? He's got straight.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Limp pot, he can literally have anything. I just don't think you're ever good.
Yeah, I could have that. This is the problem when you don't know players very well. You only have a few hands on them. If they like run pretty well, you could just get the false impression of just how aggro they are, and you can end up to making some not massive mistakes, but big enough mistakes.
I did the exact same thing against a guy heads up earlier. I was playing heads up quite a while.
So what's your thoughts on... Sorry, would you finish your point? Then
I was just playing against some guy heads up and he was just super aggressive. I didn't hit anything on the flop, so I literally just check folded and he was just potting it. And then I finally flopped top pair and I called him all the way down. He shoved and he had a straight.
He flopped it, didn't
he? Yeah.
That's just it. You just don't know, do you? The reason I paused it here is just what you thought. We've got players. My light blue tag is somebody who's there just clearly gambling. What's your thoughts on increasing your raise to 4x?
Definitely against the looser players. Nick as well is there. If he's loose.
But I'm presuming people like Wubble are going to pick up on it very easily because that's one thing regulars are good at picking up on. If anyone's got bet sizing tells, regulars will pick up on them. But I'm not that worried about Wubble picking up on something like that because I'm more worried about getting money in the pot against players that I think have obviously got a hand advantage, a card advantage, and a skill advantage, particularly when they're going to be out of position. I don't care how much of an edge you think you have on somebody. If they have position on me, that my edge is eroded significantly, and that's the same for all of us. Just being out of position doesn't help. So I didn't really want to, when I've got like a big hand, I've kind of toyed between 4x and limping under the gun because I just don't want these heavy multi-way pots. It's just too damn, especially with like hand like Ace King offsuit. If Ace King suited, it can flop much better. We can flop lots of backdoors. Ace King off, it's not even that great. I think it's a very overrated hand. It's good if it sees all 5 cards in tournaments. I'm not sure it's that great in 6 max cash games. Yeah, obviously it's good. You can flop top pair, top kicker and get value, but I think it's overvalued for sure. Are we going to isolate here with the King Queen and get home?
I definitely would be, yeah.
I hope we do. I'm presuming I'm going to. Just about what size would you go? With 2 reapers?
120, I think.
120, good stuff. That's just what I did. I think that's about right. And are you wanting calls or folds?
Well, I'd probably want a call from maybe Leggy and Abdul.
I'm going to get a call I want from Abdul. I mean, I'm happy just to pick up the pot there most of the time.
Yeah.
And
picking up's fine, but I'd want Agüero to fold, and I'd be quite happy getting it.
Yeah, I'd happy play Abdul when I got position, but yeah, most of the time we get people to fold small pairs or like ace-x or whatever. It's not the worst result in the world. Would you 3-bet Agüero?
Yeah.
Whatever it's called there.
Yeah, probably.
You probably would 3-bet him. Would
you
min race from the cut-off?
I've started flatting quite a lot though as well, because I can keep in his worst kings and his worst queens. You can have like Queen Jack, King Jack, Queen 10, King 10.
I flat a lot more from the blinds than most regulars. I know that for that. I'm very, very confident because I just know I don't 3-bet very much. 3-bet is not a huge part of my game, not pre-flop anyway. 3-bet is just not a big part of my game. I'm presuming most regulars would see this, see the min raise and 3-bet, which is something I can 100% get on board with. It's just not really my style. But you think, what size do you make it? Because you know you're getting called. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know, you make it 180. You know, which is 9 blinds, which is like a big raise compared to his like 40 open. And you know you're getting called, and I'm just thinking, well, if I know I'm getting called, and I know I'm going to miss, and I'm playing against people who don't like folding very much, is it better not just to keep the pot small out of position and then just wait till we make a hand and try and get some value? And that's an open question I don't know the answer to. It depends on the player very much, I guess.
I think a lot of the regs like to float you as well on the flop and see how you act on the turn when you're in position.
Yeah, well,
when you're betting for the blinds.
I did that earlier. It feels
like anyway.
Which didn't go down too well. I think at the table when you were at with me, I think, and RTC 3-bet me.
So
floated him pre.
Queen 9.
Queen 9. I just had a back door on the flop, and he c-bet, and he always does c-bet into me. Pretty much c-bets all the time when he 3-bets. So I just floated it on ace-x, and I was lucky that I didn't try and bluff the river.
Yeah, I was going to say, look, Reggie's got aces here. I actually thought ace king. I thought Reggie's got ace king here.
I was tempted to just jam the river, thinking, you know, he's got to fold everything except like
ace king,
ace queen, and ace king. Glad I didn't. Glad I bottled out with that one. Yeah. So here we go. What about these tens? Would you bet the flop? Top right. We just had a pair on the flop against somebody.
Yeah, who definitely be betting into Nick.
You would just a bet into. We just like that one pair.
Yeah. I think people like to float those with overpairs a lot of the time.
We don't want to have an overpair, do we? We're fucked to an overpair.
No,
overcards.
Yeah.
I think I definitely play way more passively on Sky than I do. Like, I'm more patient. Yeah. I'm happy just to wait for like some good spots rather than constantly just be bloating pots all the time and
I'm more passive,
becoming frustrated.
I don't see that bluff as often because people float so often that it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't even think the floating is part of a strategy.
No, I just floating to hit. I see one more.
Yeah, I think they're just floating to hit because I see like myself getting floated quite a lot, and then I'm trying to figure out, well, what's his game plan? He's floating me in position with like 8-7, and then he's just not tried to pick the pot up. And I think I agree with you. People just want to see one more card a lot, don't they? And it
and then
I get difficult.
I get to the turn, and I'm like, oh, what now? You know what I mean? Yeah. I've got ace queen on a 5-6-2 board. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, some guys just floated you with 10-9 or whatever because they're just not asked.
And a lot of the time they will bet the turn as well, so I never get to see any more. So I don't know if I am being floated or whether these are genuinely going to happen.
Again, it's hard to figure out. It's something where you'd love to have some stats, isn't it? You know, where you could.
Yeah, a lot of the time though, I have just a double barrel in my air.
Double barrel in your air. I think I don't mind doing it small because I think I need to do it more because I make quite a lot of small turn and river bets anyway for value. So I should theoretically better get away with some bluffs because I do get folds sometimes. If I get to the river and there's like 870 in the pot or 820 in the pot or something, I quite often get folds for like £2.70 because I think people they just float you twice with ace high and then just fold it on the river for like tiny bets. They're not going to start turning ace high into a bluff when you bet small. So yeah, I think you might be right. I think like going for some just basically drawing all our sizes back a little bit. And just playing more exploitably and just like potting it versus the weaker players and just always keeping your bets small versus the guys who you think are quite decent and maybe making like really big bets against the players you think who you're never going to be trying to bluff. I don't think that'd be the worst strategy. I don't think.
I just I'll 3/4 pot it if I've flopped well, and I'll just basically just half pot it. This is versus weak players though.
Yeah.
And I'll just half pot if I've got air, and then if a turn comes and I genuinely think he just floated me or it it pairs or something like that, I'll bet half again.
I think it gets more complicated when you multi-way and there's weak players and regulars in the pot.
Yeah, I've literally just multi-way. Say I've got pocket tens and the flop comes like ace high and it's like 3-way. I'm just not betting.
You're just done with that, yeah?
Yeah, pretty much.
So at what point would you just not check fold? You said it's a 4-way race pot at 20 and L, so there's, I don't know, with £2.40 in the pot.
Yeah.
Are you check folding for just 80p, a pound, 120? No. At what point are you like, no, this is it? Is it?
It depends on the player, obviously, but most of the time, if it's a small enough bet, I'll peel one.
Just to hope you don't barrel, because I don't think there's that much triple barreling going on here, is there?
No, and if obviously it'll thin the field. If it gets heads up, then I'll just go from there.
I mean, there are some players who are completely bonkers. Who you know?
Yeah,
I can't remember the names, but I've got notes on them where they're just like dead passive pre-flop, and they just wake up post-flop and just like mash pot left and right. They can be the ones who put you in hard spots when you have got like the medium pairs, because you just don't know what they're doing it with. You know, I've had guys that have just like donked pot 3 streets with absolute air.
Yep.
And then I've had other times you've just donked pot 3 streets and you've had the nuts. And there's like, I don't know, it's really quite difficult because you never know when to fold to them and when not to fold to them.
Well, I had a guy earlier. I had Ace King. This was 30 NL table. He was about £45 deep. I was as well. And the flop come ace.
Playing video, sorry, but because I was never going to get through. Otherwise, go on, buddy, carry on.
Ace 8 brick, something like that. Ace 8 something. I bet he calls, and then the turn comes another 8. I bet and he raises quite big. This guy was really aggressive though. I call, and then river comes like a 2, some sort of brick, and he or 7 or something like that, and he just jams. He's the rest of his stack.
And you had trips.
No, I just had a top pair, top kicker.
Ah, right.
This guy was super aggressive, and I'd like been on to him before. Knew he was doing it to me. I called, and he showed me 6-4 offsuit, and I was just thinking, like, what are you doing? Do you know what I mean? Why?
And these guys they're literally having fun. I mean, we've all been sat in the casino with these guys who literally do not give a toss. You know, I was sat that when I come down bottom of the weekend, we sat with you for a bit. I moved to that other table in the pit, and there was a guy in there. He just kept reloading for like 25, 30 big blind, whatever the minimum buy-in is. And he just did not give a shit. He was just like he just like going all in blind almost every hand. He just didn't care. And I guess it's just people just having fun.
Yeah.
And it's difficult. Right, here we go. Interesting spot against.
Yeah, definitely raise.
See, I'm not sure it's been shown up in this session not yet. We might have missed it, but I've been messing with him quite a bit in this session.
Right.
I think I called him a few times in position, and then just bluff raised him. I wish I could learn how to fucking pause this video. I just bluff raised him a couple of times, and both times I think he'd folded to me. I think there'd been.
So he's obviously got a hand there.
Yeah, I think I'd floated him once with King Jack. He bet, I bluff raised, he called, so he folded. I think it's like the 3rd time I've raised him post flop. So I think you might be getting a little bit pissed off with me. So with that dynamic, what size would you use on that river? Yeah, you joined recently. We get that hand shortly. That we'll save for now so people can see it. It's quite interesting. Well, it's not that interesting, but it's amusing. So what with that dynamic? If you've been fucking with him a little bit and like just messing with his C bets,
I think you could jam.
You really think?
You could. I don't know. No, you're just deep. I think I could pot it, definitely.
I mean, if he's got an ace, I was kind of thinking, what would he call? Because he's a good player, this KZ guy. He's a regular, decent player. He's not going to just call me with like 2 kings or something.
I think he can go big.
2 queens. But if he's got ace king or something, how often is he folding it? I guess,
especially with a blocker if he's got any club.
Yeah, if he's got ace king with a club or something. I don't remember what size it went. So
I think you can get a real bit.
I don't think I'd go all in, but I think
against a weak player, I'd just shove that.
You would shove it?
Yep.
What about against a regular, though?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Honestly, I can't remember what size. I can't remember what size I made it. I would hope, given that I've been messing with him, I would hope I would go bigger. Yeah. I wouldn't even mind an overbet, but I genuinely don't remember what size I made it. I wouldn't mind if I made it small here just to get the call. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing 8. I wouldn't mind seeing 18 either. I think anything between that's going to be fine.
Yeah, I think the bigger the better. It can't be a small.
Yeah, I think if you haven't had that dynamic, I think maybe going small's better. But
given that he'll never fold an ace.
Given that I remember I was messing with him before this.
The thing is, against a weaker player, I'd shove because I just think they'll be like, he's trying to get me off a shove. That's all that goes through the head straight away. They'll just think he's trying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think, for example, if we were in this against Wappling, who's just there to gamble, I would probably shove against Wappling because I just think if he's got a 6 or an ace, he's never folding.
No.
So that's what it would. But I don't know what size. I genuinely can't remember what size I made it here.
I think that's fine, yeah.
Middling sort of size. I'm going to guess he folds. Genuinely can't remember. Oh, he did call.
Did he show, do you know?
I probably would have looked. Whether I bring it onto the screen or not, it's a different kettle of fish. I might bring it onto the screen, I don't remember. But I would definitely have looked. I think that's the kind of spot where it's nice to know what they call with. He must have had an ace. Must have had.
It's got to be the ace of clubs. Got to be. Maybe he had a flush.
I apologise for the clunkiness of the video, by the way, but when I've got Camtasia running and 4 tables of Sky, my computer sometimes decides to think I'm an asshole and just like be a bit chunky with me. I think I probably need some advice from you on getting a new machine. I think I'm happy with it. I've got like a decent laptop, but it is just a laptop when I was done. It's a pretty good spec laptop. But
you need a desktop. Get a desktop.
Yeah, but I've got to sit up then. I literally lie on my sofa like a fucking fat idle slob. I'm just laid down and play all the time. If I just sit up straight, it'd fucking destroy my back.
I'm laid down now.
I always lay down. When I was streaming once, someone come on, some American guy, some Lyman or something it's called, and he basically referred to me as some like massive sea mammal that I'd never seen before, and I googled it and it was just some like massive fucking slob of a mammal. I was like, yeah, I can't argue with that, you know. I just cannot argue. I wish I could remember what it was called, because you'd laugh if you saw it. Because I'm a bit of a chunky guy, like. He just basically said, "You are a fucking fat slob," and he wasn't far wrong, you know. He really wasn't. Anyways, we got a flush draw against Wappling, and we turned a pair, so we're going to be bet for value again. I hope. I did, and then right. Do you bet the river?
I think. Oh, you're in position. What is it?
No, we're out of position.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, how did he check first? I think I would check because I can induce his bluffs and maybe if he's got any missed draws as well.
Yeah, this is what's happened. I've checked, he's checked back. I was definitely planning on check calling here because like a lot of stuff's missed. Like 8-7's missed, 7-5's missed, 5-3's missed, spades have missed. Pretty much every single thing's missed. And if he somehow got to the river with a queen, if he had some, I don't know, fucking Queen 6 or Queen 9, if he somehow randomly got there with the queen, well, kind of fucked my life, I think.
Even if he has something like 9-10 and he's and he sees you checking, he might just think, yeah, he's missed, and you might have a stab.
I mean, we missed a bit of value from his 9x, I guess, but I just thought everything that called on the flop, it's just absolutely everything's missed.
Yeah.
You know, if he's got King 10, fucking hallelujah, I'm just going to pay him off. So that was my read there, just like, you know, if he's a blue player, yeah, he's going to make mistakes by calling too wide, but I also think he's got so many draws in his range that I just have to give him a chance to bluff, I think.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he looks like he just checked back, I think. And that was that.
Keep losing where you are. Is that you messing about with that guy up top, yeah?
Yeah. Well, he was opening all the time. It's just like, I don't mind people opening wide, but when I'm on the fucking button and the cutoff just keeps trying to steal my button, no. I don't mind now and again. The first few times I'm like, right, I'll let it slide. But if people keep on, because I know what people think of me, I know they think I'm a bit of a nit and what have you, they can just get through me on the button quite easy. But I'm not just going to continually give my button up to regulars. You know, eventually I'm just going to start saying, you know, enough's enough, kid. You know, if you want to keep stealing my button, we're going to start playing some big pots, because you can't just let people, in my opinion, keep pinching. You pinch me blinds all day. I couldn't give a fuck about my blinds. But my button, you know, I want to be playing the button as much as I can. It's the seat we all win the most money from.
Yeah.
So someone's constantly making me fold it. I'm just to
pause
me,
the video a sec.
You just have to stop it. Pause the video.
What happened on the bottom right? You had Queen King in the big blind, I think. Small blind.
Right. Let me go back.
I think you just folded pre.
Quite possibly. Wouldn't be surprised. Might just have been a random misclick. Let me have a look. Yeah, I do sometimes make the occasional mistake. Back a bit more, is it?
Yeah, it's that hand there. That's bottom right. It is.
This one coming up now. Nope.
After that one, I think.
Oh, yeah, after that one. Bollocks. Right, we'll just let it play for me and see. That's right, because we were talking about this one, weren't we? I don't know what you think about defending your button, but if you've got like a super lag to your, well, not a super lag, but like a decent, someone's raised, I know that's what it is, 4 dice raised under the gun, and anyone who has a yellow tag, I don't know for sure, obviously, but it just seems like really super weak tight to me. And if he's super weak tight and I've got king queen off, I'm prepared to just that would have been a conscious fold. That wouldn't have been a misclick. That is me just establish. You should basically use him. There's no point tagging players, in my opinion, if you're going to ignore your reads. Now, I might be wrong. He might not be as weak tight as I think he is, but he just strikes me as a sort of player who he doesn't do that much racing, as far as I can tell. He just seems really tight. He's at quite a few tables, just playing really like a probably winning player, but it doesn't seem to be the sort of guy that gets in your face and is particularly wide at any point. So if he's not that wide at any point and he's raising under the gun, king queen off, I'm happy to just let that go from that position. On the button, I would appeal, but from the small blind, I'm not going to flop much very often. I'm happy just to just give that up to him. If I'm making a mistake by folding to king queen under the gun to someone who I think plays like he does, it can't possibly be a huge mistake, I don't think.
Yeah, fair enough.
Again, I don't really care about my blinds. I'm not the sort of person.
I'm exactly the same.
Everyone's got to put them in. The way I try and defend my blinds is by making sure that I'm getting enough steals through myself, and I'm not excessively aggressive with that either. But I don't think I have a problem in my blinds. I give them up a little bit more than some other people do, maybe, but at the same time, I don't put myself in loads of awkward spots in the blinds either. Exactly. I just want to keep it as simple as possible, basically.
No, people don't fold enough for me to be too bothered about defending and stealing. People don't fold enough. I'm not too bothered. I'll steal from regs, who I know can fold.
Yeah. I'm probably more likely to try and steal your blind than I am somebody else's.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I know you're not asked about your blinds either. And that's it, people like yourself. There's a couple of other good players who are just they don't care about the blinds. They just don't get out of line. And there's some people I've a go at. There's other people that I just will not have a go at because they just 3-bet me remorselessly. It's just fine. I know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. I've seen them talking at the table about it when I've left the table but kept it open. Yeah. So I know, and those guys know who they are. They can do it. I literally couldn't give less of a shit that they're doing it to me because it's just fine. I just adjust. I'll start min racing. I'll start limping buttons and things. If I've got a hand I want to see a flop with, I'll just make sure I get to see a flop with it against them. I won't. I'll make sure if they want to blow up pots, be out of position to me, that's fine, they can do that. I don't think they might think they got an edge on me, maybe they have, but they haven't got enough edge to play me out of position. So I'm pretty confident with that. So anyway, Blondie down here.
Yeah, Blondie's a really weak player, I think.
I'm not sure about Blondie, that's why it's got the orange tag. Orange is like not quite sure if you're like I think he's definitely a regular, but maybe he wouldn't be one of the stronger regulars. That's kind of what my orange tag means. It's like regular, but I'm not sure if you're a good regular yet, so you don't get the red. But you don't get the green either.
Tagged as a bit of a fish.
Really?
Yeah.
That just goes to show, doesn't it? Different people have different reads on the same players. So, I guess, I don't know if I empty the clip here or not. I'd not give up on the river, I guess, by the looks of things.
You didn't bet turn, did you?
I think I probably bet, looking at the pot size, I guess I must have bet the turn. Yeah, I did. I bet the turn. Oh, I bet the flop, sorry.
I don't think you bet turn, no, you didn't.
No, I can't have done. No, I must have done. Look at the pot size.
No, you didn't.
No, did I just check call?
Yep. No, check.
Fair enough.
I don't think there's anything wrong. You missed.
I did miss, but I think, with that much equity, I think I can possibly, on the ace, I can maybe just think about turning my 9 into a bluff and trying to make something fold. But again, Blondie's maybe not the person to try and make fold, I don't think.
Yeah, I wouldn't be doing it, no. I don't think it's going to fold that often.
I don't think we're going to get through all this video because I can't make it go any fucking faster. But I know there's that hand you and I played that we both got very excited about. I sat there fucking loving it. I'll be honest, I don't go out of my way to try and fuck around me and stack you, but I'm presuming that if you took a stack off me, you'd be fucking double pleased with yourself, and vice versa. Even though I know for a fact I don't go out of my way to play pots with you like I do any other regular. But taking a regular stack's way nicer than taking like a weaker player stack. Yeah. If I had the choice between stacking a regular, if I had the chance between stacking a regular or stacking like a recreational, it's a regular every time. Fuck it, I want that regular's money. It's much more fun. So the over limping there with the queen jack off then. How are we thinking about that?
Well, you've got Sicko who's literally got no stack left.
Yeah, that's why I overlimp because of his stack. If I ISO him, I just have to call it off.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like we had his hand on the bottom table there. Bottom left. Let's just see how it went down pre-flop.
Got the ace queen.
Yeah.
You 3-bet, did you? Oh no, it's only two.
I don't remember. So we'll have a look. We'll pay more attention to it.
I don't like betting the river, I don't think.
What, there on that hand?
Yeah.
At this point, I kind of established that I didn't think he was that good, so I was just going for some thin value. And don't get me wrong, it is incredibly thin. But at this point, I started figuring out that this guy had quite liberal standards.
Yeah.
And I just thought, if I make it, he might just call with a 7 or a 6 or something. I mean, I'm still betting for value there against draws.
Yeah. But then the draws haven't.
Some of them get there, like 8-9 gets there, flush draw misses. I don't know, maybe it is too thin. But he just checks to me and he's like, no, I just think I can get value. So
did he call?
Yeah, he must have done because he went to showdown, didn't it? So yeah, this is just like I've isolated with ace queen. We've been min 3-bet by keeper. You and I both share the same opinions on min 3-bets.
Yeah. I'm
kind of thinking, shit, it's probably going to be aces. But
Sal was sweating me earlier and someone did it and he had aces.
Yeah, so it happened to me this afternoon. Someone min called 4. I think one raised under the gun, I can't remember what it's called now. And I 3-bet with queens. He min 4-bet me. I was desperate to fold with me queens. If he made a bigger 4-bet, I would have folded. Anyway, he just potted the flop and stacked some guy, and yeah, he had aces. The min 4-bet is pretty much just like aces. I don't know about the min 3-bet. The limp min 3-bet. I'm just thinking, yeah, someone's got aces. But I just didn't. We obviously can't fold there.
No, not with the chance of flopping 2-pair in a way or some sort of draw that you know is going to stack his aces. And
Casper just bets. I mean, I don't know, but I'm not sure if I should raise there or not. I mean, I don't think I should raise. I mean, but then when Super Spider-Man goes all in, what are you thinking?
We know he's so aggressive.
Bollocks! Why is this fucking video not pausing? Doing my fucking nuts in now. So he's bet the 80.
Aggressive, but he just called them in 3-bet. I think he's going to be 4-betting his.
What should we be doing here against his 80 pence, though?
What should we do against it?
Yeah, I mean, are you okay with just the call as well?
I don't know. I think you can raise.
I think we probably should. In hindsight now, I'm thinking I should have raised folded here for sure.
He can have kings. He can have queens. He can have ace queen too. He can have ace king as well, but he can definitely have some worse hands.
Looking back now,
flush draws.
Looking back now, I wish if I could have this hand back, I would have raised the 80 pence to about 480. I would have thought if he'd come back over the top and shoved on me, I'd have accepted that he's just trapped me and whatever, and I'd have folded. But looking back now, I think that call's really quite weak because it just gives Spider-Man the chance to do what he does.
Yeah. I think Spider-Man can definitely have fucking 8s or 2s or something.
Yeah, he can definitely have sets so it's played that for sure.
I don't think he's some flush draw in a way.
But given how I've seen Spider-Man playing, if I'd have raced to say 480 and Spider-Man shoved, I think I would have probably just gone and paid him off at that point.
I think
he had been, reasonably aggressive. So I don't know. This is what's problem with small reads, and yeah, I'm disappointed. I think I should definitely have raised here with a view to folding, probably, rather than just calling the 8. I think calling the 8 is really weak. I know what will go through my mind. I don't want to raise and get re-raised.
Yeah, you're scared.
But I think
the min 3-bet, it just scares you. But
it does.
Actually,
the min 3-bet froze me, for sure. That's what's caused me to just call here, the min 3-bet. I mean, if he checked, I guess I would have checked behind. And again, I think that's maybe a mistake. If he hadn't have bet 80 pence, would I have stabbed? I don't know. Would I have made like a 350 bet? I've let him
fold to keeper.
Yeah, maybe that's probably what I should have done. I think I should have raised here for sure. I think it's definitely a mistake. We all make mistakes. I'm not going to fucking beat myself up for it because we all make mistakes. So 4 tabling, which is a bit fast for me. I don't usually play 4, and it's a confusing spot, so it's not dreadful. But at the same time, I think if I could have my time back, I would definitely have raised.
Yeah. And obviously you can't call it shove because it's just a gamble.
Yeah. But if I made it 480, I probably would have snapped it. But because I've only put like less than £3 in the pot, I don't really want to go for another 20 in the spot where you can absolutely have sets.
Yeah. I had when the guy min 3-bet me before, Sal was sweating me, and I had kings, and I opened. He min 3-bet, so I said to Sal, it's aces. So I said, right, I'll min 4-bet him, and if he shoves, then we fold.
Wow, you min 4-bet kings and folded to a shove.
No, I didn't
fold.
All
right, that's all right then, because I don't think you can approve of that.
I would have folded. I min 4-bet him, he called. Flop come down, I had an overpair, and he just jammed it, and I called, and he had aces.
That's just it, and you know it. You know the min 4-bet. It just is too often. It's way too often. Play.
But it just is it.
Might start doing that to bluff you. Min 4-bet you the entire range.
It's proved I don't fold. So.
That's a fair point. Yeah, you've just proved you don't fold.
Nick's building a stack.
Where's Nick at? He is.
Is that right, Nick? MUFC.
Thing is, I like it when you see the players who clearly aren't regulars go on a bit of a roll. You know, I don't like seeing them just constantly getting fucking rinsed. It's nice to see them, as long as they're not building against me. I'm not that generous. I don't want them to get it from me, but I quite like to see them get some value for their money, because you see them when they go to other sites, and you get some players on Sky who you know aren't that good players. But you can see them quite often for 3 or 4 nights in a row, just running a stack up, running a roll up and losing it again. That just doesn't happen, in my opinion, on PokerStars. These guys, because they don't get a chance to play against
no one's loose enough to give them a chance.
No. They just get rinsed constantly by a bunch of people like us, just nitty regulars. Whereas on Sky, they get more chance to actually play some hands against similarly skilled opponents, which is, I like seeing them run a stack up. Like that guy earlier, that Hunty, he loves it. He just loves coming on buying for the minimum and just try to fucking quadruple his stack. And he didn't do it tonight, but he did it the other week, and he was just genuinely good fun. You were almost rooting for him just not to do it against you.
Yeah.
He was on 95 for the longest time. He kept going 95, 92, and he got to 99. And to be fair to him, he said, when I get to 100, I'm gone. And he did. He got to 100. He just went, bye guys, fucked off, and then bought into another table 15 again. But I don't mind shit like that, you know. Like I say, as long as I'm not getting it all from me, I don't really care. I like to see him having a good time.
That's good. Probably went and bought himself into a £100 tournament.
I don't know what he did. He joined another table with 15 quid, and then tonight he was just bought him for 14. He said he was happy to win 50. So he bought him for 12. He was happy to win 50. So I'm guessing he might be struggling with his bankroll at the minute. But yeah, I was rooting for him. But unfortunately, he busted, didn't he? Now, where's this hanging?
To me.
Going along. Was it you? Was it you? Horrible.
I busted him. I flopped quads or something, didn't I?
I don't remember. I think I had 3 tables on the go at the time, and when I got 3 tables on the go, and you know, maybe looking at Facebook or whatever, which you shouldn't be doing. Fucking hell, I can't keep up with who's doing what, me. I just can't keep up.
Well, I've always got a YouTube video on 4 tables now. I've cut down from. I was doing 8, and I was fine doing 8, but I wasn't table selecting as well. So
I can cope with 6, but I don't play anywhere near my best. I just playing some really fucking moderate odds. If I'm playing 3 tables, because I like to play short-handed, I don't really like playing full 6. Yeah. I'd rather play just 3, 4, maybe 5-handed. When it gets to full 6 tables, you know, I find myself, you've got to play a little bit tighter. It's not as much fun. As I prefer playing short. I'd rather have 3 tables of 3 and 4-handed than say 6 tables of 6-handed. And I don't think it hurts your volume that much if you do it that way.
Well, there's so many benefits to playing short-handed. Obviously, you get weaker players who sit your heads up.
Yep,
I love it. You get so much more action. You get Sky's does double points.
Oh, do they really? Didn't know that. It's just more fun as well playing short-handed, in my opinion.
If there's 3 players or less on the table, you get double points.
Right, I didn't know that.
So that's literally I've been raking the points in doing that.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I usually just sit my own tables. There's one particular regular that constantly comes and sits on the G to seat on me, and I would play him if he was decent. If he come and just sat opposite me, if I was going to sit you heads up, I'd just sit directly opposite you.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I think that's just the right way to do things. But he just continually comes and deliberately G to seats me, so I just refuse to fucking play him. Because he's one of the only regulars who I think's a knob. I mean, I'm not going to say what his name is. If he watches this, he'll know who he is. The rest of the regulars, I think we generally get on pretty well with. Either chatty or they don't chat at all. But this guy, he just comes, he sits on my left-hand side, and he's just a knob, so he's the only one that I won't play. Other regulars, I'll either just not sit the table if they're open, or if they sit me, I'll play them for a little while, just to try and get a game going. I think we'll end on this hand that you and I have got now, because at this point I was getting a little bit excited because I was thinking more with like KC. We were messing with him, thinking maybe he gets involved. Then you had a little dabble. I just presumed you were going to fold. I thought Grant's going to fold. He's going to just whatever. Then when that happened, I was quite excited. I'm not going to lie.
I'm excited.
I knew it was going. Picture. I just knew right now this is going in because Grant is not far bet folding here, not in a fucking million. And I'm just thinking, kings, have kings.
I was thinking for you, please, kings. I took a picture and posted it on the group. King, come on.
And there we go. It was just really fucking boring. We both had aces, and Sky probably won about £4 off us.
Two nits going at it.
Oh, absolutely. Fucking nit on nit violence in the extreme. Right, I think we'll leave it there because I'm not sure anything much more interesting happens. I'm going to be going for 15 minutes, but cheers for that. So I'm going to do a few more of these because I quite like having other people. I'm like, always looking at other people's play, but it's quite nice to have people running an eye over mine. And I'm quite happy if people say that was fucking rubbish. I don't care. It's good. I mean, that's what conversation is. I would hope if you thought it was rubbish, you'd describe it slightly better than that. But, it's nice to have people looking over your game too, because like I said, I think the one hand that I'm really not happy with is that ace queen in that like min, that limp min 3-bet pot.
I think I'd be raising it. Yeah. Obviously, it's a bit sickening if that guy does re-raise. I
think I misplayed that one. I think we should raise fold the flop for sure.
Yeah.
But whatever, we all make mistakes, and that was one of them. At least it wasn't a big one. I didn't feel like it was a big one anyway. So cheers for that, sir. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
And we'll do another one. What day is it? Tuesday? Maybe do another one Thursday, so I'll try and record some sessions. See you later, Chief.
See you later.
Ta-da, mate.